I really didn't expect this YouTube thing to take off as fast as it did, but man, I'm as excited as a kid in a candy store. Hold on, I think this thing's fogging up as usual every time I walk out of the air conditioner. But I tell you what, sometimes this anticipation is getting the best of me. I found out, like, I was accepted for monetization like a week ago, but I still hadn't heard anything. I got denied for an AdSense account like twice already, and I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm doing everything up under a business, you know, obviously for tax purposes, since I'm not in the U.S. I mean, from the U.S., but not in the U.S. So I want to do everything so I can keep it based in the United States for banking. Man, this thing is screened up or fogged up. All right, I think the camera's finally got to outside temperature now. But anyway, I was getting frustrated. I really wasn't worried about it until I got the email talking about I could be monetized, and then, you know, all the thoughts started going through my head. Like, man, this is gonna be really cool. I'll be able to do more things, you know. My budget will expand a little bit, so that's always a nice thing to think about. But good God, man, it was eating me up because I kept getting denied for the AdSense account, and then I found out that apparently a lot of people go through that same thing. And I'm not sure if I was filling it out incorrectly. Well, I know that the first and unfortunately the second time I was filling it out incorrectly. The W-9 form that you get. And after doing a little bit of research, apparently a lot of people go through that same trouble. And when it's going to get denied, it only takes like, I think both times I got denied, it only took maybe 24 hours and then I was denied. But this time, like the third time, hopefully the third time's the charm, it's been like 4 or 5 days. And I haven't heard nothing. But I've found the YouTube support chat thing. It's been there the whole time. I just didn't even know that I didn't pay attention to it. And somebody helped me out on YouTube support. And they's like, everything looks good. There's no problem with it as of yet, which is a good sign. Because usually if it's going to get denied, it gets denied pretty quick. So I'm thinking pretty positive about it now. So everything probably will work out. Oh, and by the way, I know I've showed this before, but listen how fast this thing boils for this hot pot. I don't know how long it's been since y'all seen me put it on there, but it's already boiling like crazy. It don't take no time. And I about got it full. That's a lot of water to boil that fast. Love these things. Instant coffee or not. Dude. Yeah, but anyway. It's good times over here, flying solo. Every day I change my mind, like, you know, do I want to like date anybody or do I not want to date anybody? And it fluctuates. It depends because it gets lonely. I ain't gonna lie. But if I wasn't doing YouTube or something like that, God, it would be super stressful. So for you guys who are coming over here, make sure you have some kind of hobby that you like to do. I've talked to several expats, and most of them who've been over here a long time, well, actually, seems like most of them's hobby is drinking. So if you do that, you can do that too. It's no problem. You can find somebody to sit at the bar with and drink and shoot the shit all day. No problem. Met one guy. Gil, real cool dude. He's already got a wife pretty much, built a house and everything. He's living out his dreams for sure. Cool dude. But his hobby is golf. And you know, any kind of hobby that you can think of, it's over here. You just might have to be at the right spot to find a good golf course, but apparently there's not many over here. But the whole point I'm trying to make is if you're a single man and you want to do it on your own without getting into a relationship right away or anything, which ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can get in a relationship, not a problem. But for me, going through the things that I've went through, I kind of needed to be on my own for a while, and I knew it in my head. I knew it was going to be hard, but this is my, I've done it for a little bit of time now, and I'm starting to like it, like more each day. The more I'm alone, the more I'm okay with being alone. But again, I've got something that I'm doing. YouTube actually takes a lot of time, like to edit videos. Well, the actual editing part, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. The uploading and anticipation of downloading and all that stuff is what takes so long, because you're sitting there just watching a computer screen. I don't sit there the whole time, but I'm in and out checking on it, because sometimes it'll say upload in 2 hours and 33 minutes, and I'll go do something and come back and it's down to an hour. So then your anticipation builds up. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've got a hobby. I've got something to occupy my time, something to think about. I can daydream while I drink my coffee about what I would like to do and where I'd like to go. And, of course, I'm going to record everything. Is that even a thing? Yeah, I guess it is. Record. You ever get to that age? I've seen technology change so much. And in like one of my videos, I was talking about my microphone and I kept saying speaker. I need to get my speaker. You guys can't even hear me. Fucking stupid, man. And everybody was lighting me up because I was calling, what is it? Tag Baleron. And I was calling it Tag Baleron or Tag LeBaron. I had it backwards. But either way, I'm going to keep jacking up stuff just because it's what I do, apparently. But anyway, just having a hobby coming over here is something to do. Like even PlayStation, if you're into video games or whatever, you need something to occupy that dead time. A lot of the vloggers, which there's nothing against it. I mean, I want to do some of the touristy stuff too, but that's a once in a lifetime thing. There's only so many times you're going to visit Chocolate Hills or a specific waterfall. Well, I don't know. I could hang out at a waterfall several different times and be all right with me. If I had, people to hang out with, maybe bring some food or something, throw a little shindig by the waterfall, it'd be hard to beat that. But you're not going to do that stuff every day. This is every day. This is what you're going to do every day. I will drink coffee every day. I don't know if I'll cook for myself every single day, but I do enjoy cooking for myself. Like this morning, I hadn't done nothing but drink coffee. I was getting ready to go to the beach. I was talking to my buddy back in America. We used to, spend hours on the phone just shooting shit about nothing, talking about everything under the sun. And we haven't got to speak much since I've been here because of the lack of phone signal, honestly. But it seems that Facebook Messenger is the ticket. Like, that's the way to go. Like, even if you have a U.S. phone, it don't matter what your phone service is. You're not going to have signal like you did over there. And you may have signal like in this spot, but not that spot. It's really strange. But for whatever reason, Facebook Messenger with video chat is the way to go. Like, we just talked probably for a good hour and a half. No problem. Signal goes in and out every now and again, but it's still better than the phone from what my experience is so far. And these are just a few tips, while I'm drinking my morning coffee. I just got through chatting with with YouTube support, and I'm feeling pretty confident. Yesterday I was getting frustrated. I was like, man, I didn't even, like I said, I didn't intend on getting monetized this fast, but after they monetize you, you start having these dreams of grandeur. You start thinking, dang, this could take off. I could get more money. I could do more things. I could do this or that. And, me, I've always been like really business minded, or I shouldn't say business, hustle minded. I always try to turn a dime into a dollar. Always have. But I got to keep myself in check because that's not what I'm here for. I've done that all my life. And it might be habit forming, but we've been trained, all of us. If you're from a Western country in any kind of way, well, actually, probably just about any country, we've been trained to chase this illusion, an illusion that if you have more money, you get more happiness. And I know from experience that is not the case. It helps. You have to have it to live. I get all that. But really, if you have a good conversation with someone, how much would you pay for it? You can't really put a price on that stuff. Or if you could talk to someone that's no longer with you, that you cared for, what would you pay for that conversation? So really, when you boil it down, you have to have it, but it's not the most important thing in life. And it's hard to get out of that mindset, or at least for me, because I've been in it for so long, just like most of you have. And it almost seems abnormal to even try to get away from it, because it's been beat into our heads all of our lives. Like, this is what you need to do. You need to get an education so you can make money. And then you need to make more money. And then when you make more money, you buy a bigger house to buy more stuff. And it's like a never-ending cycle. And then eventually you get sick, go to the hospital, and the hospital takes all of the money that you have left. And what the hospital don't take, the hospice place will. So it's, what's the point of it? And the whole time, usually in most situations, the guys who aren't doing any of the work, who started the business a long time ago and helps pass bills through Congress, is the one making all the money, and they don't strike a lick at nothing. I mean, let's be honest. They don't do any of the work. All they do is watch their money grow. And it'd be nice, but in order for them to do that, there has to be millions of us. And I'm tired of being one of us. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I think I had to bring myself down a little bit and think about it. Like, look, even if I never get monetized on YouTube, I'm in a tropical paradise doing something that I'm enjoying doing. And even if I wasn't monetized, I've got people like lifting me up, and it feels good. I'm having conversations with people that ordinarily I would have never gotten a chance to know or to even conversate with, even if it's just a kind word back and forth. Sometimes that's all you need to get you through your day. I mean, how often in life do you even get to hear that stuff anymore? We're so disconnected from each other. You don't have many strangers coming up to you and being like, man, you look nice today, man, or I love your smile, or something like that. That don't happen in everyday life, or at least not a lot. I mean, it may happen from your friends or your coworkers that you're friendly with, but anymore, shoot, if you were like me, you was working from home, you don't even see your coworkers that much anymore. I mean, some of you do. I don't miss doing construction work. That's been a long, long time ago, but I have when I was a kid. But that was some of the best camaraderie. Like, up there just talking shit. It was never nice. Like, the best compliment you got was, you're a dumbass or something. that was like, you're cool with me, you're my friend, or at least where I'm from. Which most of the time there's a little truth behind it. But anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make is I had to bring myself back to reality and look at where I'm at and what the point was. The point was getting away from making money. Now, I am not opposed to making some YouTube money at all, because it looks like I may do so in the future if I can ever figure out the dang tax form. But it's still not what's most important. And I just wanted to let you guys know that, and talk to some of you guys who may be thinking about coming out here and doing the same thing that I'm doing. Don't let it get frustrated. Make sure that you have that YouTube is a hobby. If it turns into money, that's great, no problem at all. But at the same time, I don't think it's a good idea to look at it as a source of income. I don't think that anybody should take off on a whim with intentions on making a living from YouTube. I mean, it's definitely doable, but I just don't think that it's good to be 100% dependent upon that. I think it's a good dream, And there's nothing wrong with chasing a dream, because that's what it is for me. But at the same time, I'm not dependent upon it for survival or anything. So it's still fun, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying don't do it. If you get the urge to do it, do it. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario, just keep enough money for a flight back home. I mean, shit, you can go get another job. That's the great thing about being an American, or I guess most Western countries. Yeah, jobs aren't hard to find these days, because a lot of people just aren't willing to work for the wages that are available, and I don't blame them. But sometimes you got to make the hard decision and work for peanuts. We've all done it. I remember my first job, I made $4.25 an hour. Of course, at that time, I haven't done the math on it, but I bet you anything, that was in, what would that be? That would have been 1989. I was making $4.25 an hour. I bet you today that's probably the equivalent to $13, $14 an hour, which obviously you can't survive on that, but you couldn't survive on $4.25 then. But when I was 14 and a half years old, you work for 2 weeks and you get a paycheck for $200. You couldn't tell me I wasn't rich. Shit. I got money. Back then, shoot, $200, 14 and a half years old, $200, you couldn't tell me nothing. I remember going and I would get, like, you'd have a bunch of 20s, and every time I go to the store to pay for something, even if it was cheap, I'd pay with a 20 so I would get more 1s and 5s, just so my knot looked a little bit bigger. Made me feel good. Made me feel like I had more money. But anyway, this is going to be a short one today. I just want to let you guys know that if you are coming here, it's a good thing to have a hobby of some sort. No matter what your hobbies are, it's available here. And if you search for something that even if you don't have a hobby, I would suggest getting one, no matter what it is. Whether you want to play chess, golf, pickleball. My buddy's really into pickleball. I'm trying to talk him into coming over here. One day I'll get him over here. JW, you're coming. I told him if I do get monetized on YouTube, well, I'm already monetized, but if I start making some YouTube money, I told him don't be surprised if he hears somebody walk up behind him, and the last words he hears before he wakes up in the Philippines is, "Does this rag smell like chloroform?" I'm gonna have his ass kidnapped, brought over here. But get a hobby of some sort, any kind. It don't really matter. And even if it's something that you're not super interested in now, it's a good way to experience that camaraderie. Like me, y'all can obviously tell I'm not shy. I'll talk to anybody. I'll sit down with strangers and have a full-fledged conversation. I usually joke about, like, I don't care if I'm in a bullpen or a boardroom. I'm going to get along. I'm fine. I'm going to talk to anybody. I don't judge people for their walk of life or for any reason. I don't really care. If you're a good dude, you're a good dude, or a good girl, whatever you are. If you're a dick, you're a dick, It's just the way it is. And I think that's the way we all should judge each other. Instead of looking for the flaws in each other, we should look for the good. But if somebody just ain't a nice person, or they're not cool to be around and they always give you anxiety, don't be around them, Fortunately, for whatever reason, the Philippines, man, these guys, everybody, it seems like everybody here is just very polite, very cordial. I haven't even seen anybody be rude to even each other, which is a good judge, because we're foreigners. It's a possibility that they treat us nice because we're foreigners, but I don't think that's the case, because I watch, and they treat each other nice as well. So it's for real. And that's what I like about it. A lot of these guys will come over here, and everybody at home watching is usually just, oh man, you can get women. I mean, that's nice. That's cool. I love women too. But you alone, you're a person too, and you have to figure out who you are too. If your life is dependent upon companionship, which mine has been, so I'm preaching to the choir, I've been in that boat, but now that I'm out of it, I'm getting more accustomed to it. And if I did have a relationship, I think I would be a better man for it, because I don't need it. it would be surely because I want to be in that. But when you feel like you need a relationship, I don't think that ends well. At least for me, it didn't. Hell, my ex-wife, she's better off now. She's happy, and I'm happy for her. I guess she, it's just a different mindset. I still have love for her. I always will. And I think she still loves me too, but we just can't be together. There's no communication there. We grew up together. It's going to sound crazy, but it's almost like my sister, It gets on my damn nerves. I love her, but it's what it's like. But anyway, I don't even know what the hell this video is going to be titled about, but maybe get a hobby. I think that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. Something about a hobby. But anyway, this is going to be the end of this one because I'm fixing to go to the beach.